Ladies and gentlemen, this evening's performance of
The Diz Explorers
will begin in 2 minutes. Excellent
listening
locations are still available all around Showcase Promenade. Due to the use of
alcohol and opinions.
around the lagoon, for your safety, we request that you remain on the promenade side of all railings. During the show, please watch your step and take small children firmly by the hand. Once again, this evening's performance of
The Diz Explorers
will begin in just 2 minutes. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Diz Explorers podcast, where each week we explore the many avenues of the great Disney universe. So this week, we are back. It is after Easter, so we hope everybody had a nice Easter holiday or Passover or whichever applies to you at all. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you enjoyed last week's episode as well. So this week, we're going to do something a little different. Instead of doing a movie review of a recent movie that had just, come out in the past month or two, we are going to do what we're dubbing as an extremely late movie review. But it is relevant because with Infinity War now coming out, which Milford just told us April 29th, which I guess they bumped the date up from its May release. We were going to go back and do a late movie review of Captain America Civil War, which I had said to the rest of everybody before we were recording that it seemed more that it was kind of funny that it was called Captain America Civil War because it was less about just Captain America and it was like everybody there. And they had reminded me that Melanie had said on here one point that it was kind of more like more of an Avengers 2 than Avengers 2 actually was. So take that for what you will. So anyway, the movie came out in 2016. So I mean,
we're only a little behind.
Yeah, it's only 2 years. But not all of us have seen Black Panther, but it's been in the theater long enough that we could definitely do a review on it, and we definitely will, because it's been getting rave reviews, and if it just gets to the point where whoever has seen it will talk about it, and the rest of us will listen, as we've done in the past when some of us haven't been able to get to the theater. But yeah, so for the purposes of this one, we're just gonna have a chat about Civil War and I guess what we thought about it and what we think is going to happen. And there's 87 characters involved in it, so and I'm definitely coming at it from the person who knows the least about it. I just watched it for the first time, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, so it's fairly fresh in my mind, but I definitely don't have all the backstories on all the characters and the storylines coming into it, because I did not see the second Avengers, or at least all of it, or enough of it to remember the stuff. So I don't know. Where do you guys want to start? I guess from the beginning.
Well,
or
I think
or kind of what leads into it, maybe.
When I told my husband what we were doing tonight, he says, "So, what do you remember about that movie?" And because I think we saw it in theaters, and I'm sure I've caught bits and pieces of it if it's been on FX or something. But I said I remember the big fight scene at the end and the big airport scene, and that's about it.
Well, the simplest.
Even though you really enjoy a movie, the things that kind of stick with you.
Yeah. The simplest thing that pops in my head is, so did you agree with Tony or did you agree with Steve? Right?
Yeah.
And my opinion when I first saw it is different than what it is now. So since you just saw it, RJ, who did you agree with more, or did you agree with neither of them?
I was definitely on Team Iron Man. I'd have to say that. I just like that character better. I think that's maybe more what I was basing it on. Like, I'm trying to remember the whole, like, what Captain America's argument was. Like, he wanted to, like, the Winter Soldier because it was one of his own, so to speak. I think he was kind of biased towards him, if I'm saying that right.
Well, like, the whole thing that started it off, right, if I'm remembering correctly, which I think I've already proven is not very good. But it was all about whether or not they should be in control of themselves versus whether or not the government should kind of use them as
the UN.
weapon,
Yeah.
Right. Yes. That's
Yes.
correct. Yes.
So even though Bucky or the Winter Soldier became an integral part to that argument, that wasn't the initial faction splitting.
True.
Right.
Right?
True. Until, I guess, maybe towards the end when you learned, I guess, what he did or what he ended up doing.
Right.
When he was all whacked out. But, yeah, I guess the government controlling part. Yeah, I guess... So Steve was on the side that he didn't want to... Tony was trying to abide by their rules, right?
Right.
Because he
had all that
signed
guilt.
the accords or whatever saying they could control him, and Steve wouldn't sign
And
it.
Steve wouldn't sign it, that's right.
Yeah.
And then they split, and whoever went with each team.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. All right, that's right. Now it's all coming back to me. Yeah, I don't know. I think I agreed with... It's hard because I think I saw both sides of it. Like, I'm definitely not an aligning with the government type thing and being told what to do authoritatively wise, but then again, I don't know that like I said, like the Captain America character just was not, didn't do it for me, because I don't know, he just seemed like to be a contradiction. He seemed to be like a contradiction of himself. Like, he's supposed to be Captain America. Like, he uphold the, you know what I mean? Like, supposed to be.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
that's what threw it. And, like, I don't know the whole backstory of Captain America. I didn't see the first one, so maybe I'm the wrong. But I'm just, from my eyes of seeing this, that was my first. That's what first came to me as watching the movie and when it was done. And I watched it with my daughter. And when if she would ask me questions and stuff, I would kind of answer what I thought I knew about him and stuff, but that was my initial impression I was like, all right, this is like Captain America. He's supposed to be like the guy, like he was the man, back in the, when was it, the 40s, World War II, or when his origin story started, and then was sleeping, frozen in ice and the whole 9 yards, and now he seems like he went rogue. So it was like the opposite. You would think, to me, it was like the roles reversed, like Tony seemed like the one who just does whatever the hell he wants and just doesn't care what the doesn't care what the outcome was, but he just deals with it in his wise ass kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they were both having an existential crisis.
Yes. Right.
Like the very core of their beliefs. And I feel like Tony had never had a human face put to his actions before.
True.
Because his background was in weapon making, and when he, again, it's been a long time since I've seen Iron Man, but when he was faced with what his weapons were doing, he made a change.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was him in this movie too. Whenever he was faced with the consequences of a decision that he had a part in making, he felt it's like he has this knee-jerk reaction to just do a 180.
Right. Kind of like take a mature adult, like, owning his actions, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Or even, you could even say it's kind of childish too. You're like, well, then fine, I'll just do this instead.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It could go either way.
True, it could go either way. Right. You're right. Now, so my question is there specific reasons why the other heroes sided with who they sided with? You know what I mean? Is there a reason that Scarlet went with?
Well,
with
T'Challa, Black Panther went with Tony, obviously, because his father died because of that explosion.
Right.
And Rhodey is going to always side with Tony.
Okay.
Right.
And then I think Spider-Man was also on his side.
Well, he recruited.
Right.
I think he recruited him, kind of, the Spider-Man. Yeah, he came and found that kid afterwards, right? And Ant-Man as well, right?
Yeah, I couldn't remember what side Ant-Man took.
Hang on.
He just
I feel
showed
like
up when all the
it's somewhere
chaos
on
was
the
happening.
Wikipedia.
He did, but I think they talked to him too. I forgot how he came into. Yeah, he came in towards the end.
I think he just showed up in a van, right?
Yeah, I think so.
From having his entrance,
I
like they
think
were
you're
in
right.
a parking garage. And they opened it and he's like half drunk or something. I don't know.
it
I
was
haven't
some-
seen Ant-Man either, but Paul Rudd always seems like he's half drunk.
It's true. True.
Basically,
I
he's
know, I
acting.
should have wrote down who was with who.
Well, that's kind of the whole point of these reviews, right? Like, how badly and poorly do we remember this?
Yes. Because there were so many flippin' characters.
There are.
There
Now,
was a
Scarlet
lot.
Witch was originally with Tony, but she escaped because she didn't
Yeah.
like feeling confined.
Well, then
basically
she was
put her
mad
for-
because she was getting babysat by Vision,
right.
more or less. Who that dude is
Which
weird,
that whole
man.
relationship creeps me out.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
Like it's like he's trying to be fatherly, but then they've got these weird romantic undertones. I
didn't get that.
don't get it. I don't. Yeah, I love Paul Bettany, but I don't love Vision.
I had no idea who that guy was.
Oh my god, I love Paul Bettany.
I have no
That's
idea.
a whole other subject.
Okay. I never heard of him. Okay, so here we go. I found a easy list here. So Team Captain America was Hawkeye, Falcon, Bucky the Winter Soldier, Ant-Man, and Scarlet Witch. Iron Man was Vision, Black Widow, War Machine, and Spider-Man. But I thought, Hawkeye, he had Hawkeye and Falcon was with Captain America. Oh, that's strange. I thought each.
Oh, I'm remembering that.
I thought a flying guy was with each.
Falcon had no patience for Spider-Man whatsoever.
Yeah, he couldn't
that's
stand
true.
him.
He couldn't stand him. That's true. And I would get those two. For some reason, I didn't know who Falcon was. And like I said, because I didn't see Avengers 2. So I was like, who the hell is this guy? And I was like, oh, Falcon. All right,
Wait.
whatever.
But isn't he from one of the, from
He
Captain
wasn't in
America?
Avengers 2. He was in the second Captain America movie.
He was in Winter
Oh,
Winter Soldier.
he
Okay.
was in Winter Soldier then. Okay, I gotcha.
I
Yeah,
remember
he's
them
the guy at the beginning
together.
that Steve is lapping on his runs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And War Machine confused me too. I was like, who is this? Isn't that like the Hulkbuster costume? Isn't that like the Hulkbuster
No, that's
suit?
from Iron Man 2.
What is?
Yeah, he's basically Iron Man 2.0. Like,
Right.
He's his best friend and his
Yeah.
Well, I got that.
he's the one that
out
was
of it.
recast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was
Gotcha.
it was originally oh my god, who played him first?
I was just saying because it wasn't Don Cheadle, right?
Terrence Howard. It was
Yeah.
Terrence Howard, and then
Okay.
he blamed that whole movie for ruining his career because he wasn't in Iron Man 2, and it was this whole long drama.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then they replaced him with Don Cheadle.
Gotcha.
But he didn't really become War Machine until the third Iron Man movie.
Yeah, he was
Oh, I
just
didn't know he had a real name.
I didn't either.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was James Rhodes, and he calls him Rhodey.
Ah, okay. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
The only like team up that I didn't really get was Black Widow and Hawkeye. Like I feel like they just put them on opposing teams just for that dynamic.
Yes. Yeah, but didn't she ended up helping Captain America at the end because she let him go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think she was one of the people that was like, "Come on, guys, we're really all on the same
Same
team. I
team,
don't
right.
want to be doing this."
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I got that impression of her too, yeah.
So Jessica,
Which is
how
one
does
of-
your opinion change?
Oh, so when I first came out of the movie, I was 100% on Iron Man's side, and despite the fact that Captain America is my favorite of the Avengers, just I thought he was so frustrating in this movie, and just I couldn't understand his point of view because I just thought that Winter Soldier was such a liability, and how could you not see that they want to just make it okay? But, I thought about it a lot, and I guess I could see his perspective from the point of, well, they clearly don't know what they're doing because the Avengers have to come in and save the day every damn movie. So I don't think that being told how to save the world is going to be successful. So then I was like, oh, okay, I kind of get what he's saying. But my knee-jerk reaction was that he was so grating in Civil War because he was just so absolute of, no one's going to tell me what to do, and you're right.
He was such a punk.
Yeah, and to your point, he's supposed to be the law and order avenger, right? That's just doing what has to be done, kind of to the book, and Iron Man should be the one that says, I'm going to do what I want and you don't tell me what to do. So it was kind of confusing. And for a few of the characters and how they split up, which is kind of what you were saying, Adrianne, is I didn't really get 100% why they were on the side that they were, except for they picked people with similar abilities and just put them on opposite sides. Like a couple of them, I completely understood why they were on one or another. But then other ones, I thought, well, they're just there because they need more people on that team. Like it wasn't
Right.
For every character, it wasn't an obvious, oh, he feels this way about this or she wants this, you know?
Right. Now, was there a reason that Hulk or Thor weren't involved in this? They didn't really need to be?
Well, we find that out in Ragnarok.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I still haven't seen it, so
Me
just tell me
neither.
what.
That's what I'm
Yeah, you can tell me. I don't care. You can tell me too because I've been
I
meaning
don't
to
remember
rent it.
how exactly, but essentially Hulk has been on the Jeff Goldblum planet for the past couple of years. And I don't remember what it's called. I just remember it's ran by Jeff Goldblum.
That works. It should be called
And I
that if
don't
it's not.
And I don't remember if they gave a full-on explanation for Thor, except for the short. Did y'all ever watch the short where he was like off getting a roommate and didn't
Yeah.
know? Yeah. Like that's supposed to be the explanation for Thor.
Okay.
But Hulk legit has been on this weird planet for a couple of years.
Okay.
And was Hulk. He never turned back into
Bruce Banner.
yes, thank you. I
He
appreciate
stays
that.
the Hulk.
He's Hulk for years and doesn't realize it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, sorry.
Because I know there was a couple of lines in the movie where I think Iron Man says, doesn't he say we could really use a Hulk right now?
Yeah.
Or something
so.
like that, and says something about Thor, and I forgot what he says. He was like, oh, Thor was chasing his brother or redeeming. So I forgot the line that he said.
I feel like that's, I don't remember, because at that time I watched Thor the Dark World, but it was so bad. I don't remember much of it. But they think Odin is dead, right, at the end of that one, but it's really, no.
Yes,
Oh,
but
Loki
then
is pretending to
Loki
be,
is him. Yeah.
yeah. But he's
Yeah.
still alive somewhere, I think.
That I don't
Anyway,
remember.
so I think Thor is off dealing with all of that. With maybe looking for Loki or dealing
Right.
with
His family drama.
His family
Yeah.
trauma. Yeah. Yeah, maybe they do say that, something about Asgard or something.
yeah. But speaking of all the characters, I've never seen Ant-Man either. And this movie, I love Paul Rudd, right? Like since Clueless, I love Paul Rudd.
Yeah, he's good.
And I still haven't seen Ant-Man. But I remember this movie making me go, I should watch that movie.
Yeah.
Well, you could see the sequel that's coming out, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah. I heard Ant-Man. I heard
Yeah, because that's the summer.
was
Oh.
really
It
good.
is?
Yeah.
Like I
Hold
said,
on,
he
I'll
was
tell you.
hilarious in this movie. I remember thinking he was hilarious when he goes from being teeny tiny to huge. That was hilarious.
Zachary
July 6th.
Levi was in that movie. I'm looking at the cast of Ragnarok.
Flynn Rider himself.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was in there. Huh. Interesting. And Anthony Hopkins was Odin.
Yeah, he's Odin.
That's pretty cool. Can't really mess with
Let me
that.
tell I cannot wait till we talk about Ragnarok. I'm about to go off on that a little bit. Because there are some cameos in Ragnarok that are hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really
I mean-
hilarious.
Go
Really
for it.
hilarious.
Yeah, don't wait. I mean, go for it because I don't know when the
Okay.
hell I'm going to.
This isn't what we're
actually
supposed to be
see
talking
it.
about.
No, it's okay. Don't
But-
worry about it. Whatever it's.
This is what we do.
It is
That's
what we
right.
do. When Thor
It's all relevant.
comes back to Asgard, Odin in quotation marks, is watching a play of Loki and Thor. And Thor, correct me if I'm wrong, Milford, but Thor is played by Matt Damon.
I think that's who it is. I'm trying to look it up.
I don't know who it is that's playing Loki, but I just remember, like, it completely sucked me out of the movie in the funniest way. Because I'm sitting there in the theater watching this and totally sucked in, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, is that Matt Damon? And he's like wearing this long blonde wig.
Yes, it was
Hilarious.
It was Matt Damon.
Yeah.
That's
Played
funny.
Loki.
Oh,
Matt
he
Damon was
Loki?
playing Loki.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thor.
That's funny.
It's hilarious.
They're pretty good about those cameos. I remember in the Dark World when Loki was doing an impression of Captain America, and then they had Captain America show up and kind of walk because he was being him. I love when they do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
It was Luke Hemsworth playing Thor.
Oh, that's
his
even
brother.
funnier.
Yeah.
That's his real life brother. That's funny.
That is funny. Oh gosh. So anyway, totally off topic, but these movies are so good.
Yeah, the writing is very well done.
Well, and they all link to one another in
Right.
some form or another.
Yeah, for real.
That's probably the only thing, if I had to criticize the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is I feel like they expect you to remember way too much for each movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if the best thing to do would be before it starts, give me a 30-second, like, previously on or something, but it's really hard to remember. I have to go back after I watched it and look up a ton of stuff, and you got to see it a couple times because you can't remember why this person's mad at this person, and it's just a lot.
That's a good
And I can't remember
idea.
what
They
happens
should
in
do
which
that.
movie.
Right? Because nobody would object to, instead of having stupid dialogue that explains stuff they'd never say to each other, just start the
Right,
movie
right,
with
right.
here's what you need to remember from all the previous stuff.
You know what? I bet you if you went on YouTube, somebody's already done it.
Probably.
I should look it up.
There's probably like a 4 or 5 hour thing that has from Iron Man 1, from the first Iron Man all the way up to this, to Ragnarok, and all the scenes that in order that, because I know people have done it with Pirates, it's been done with Star Wars, where it's like all, you know, when it was just the 6, it was just the stuff you needed to know and needed to see to get the story without all the filler crap.
Yeah, there's a catch-up before Infinity War. 8 must-see Marvel films.
Oh, but it's the whole movies. It's not something that somebody.
No,
like,
it's
cut and spliced.
6 minutes. It's 6 minutes to 7 seconds.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if that's what it is or if it's just.
That's probably just like you need to see this movie for this reason, this movie for this. Like I've seen ones that people have done where it's like it's all 6 Star Wars movies, but it's like 3 hours long, and it's just everything you need to see and that matters.
I don't have 3 hours to spend on YouTube.
No, I don't
But-
either. I don't either. I just
It's
think
easier
it's
than
funny.
watching 12 hours of movies, though.
It is
True.
true. Some movie theater is doing every single Marvel movie for like 2 days straight
Get out.
before Infinity War.
Really?
And if I were young and childless, I think I would give it a shot.
Oh, I definitely would too.
But of course, they did that for Lord of the Rings. I remember when it came out, but it was just a few hours, not.
Yeah. Well, that I wouldn't.
But even the Guardians movies, like the first Guardians was on last night, and I knew the Guardians were going to be in Infinity War, but I guess I didn't pick up on the fact that there's an Infinity Stone in that movie, or I'd forgotten
In Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
one.
Oh, the first one, yes.
Right. And it's like a big deal. And I guess I had
Yes.
just completely forgotten. So, because for a while I was kind of concerned about how the Guardians were going to fit into
Infinity War.
the Avengers. Yeah, Infinity War.
Right.
But
I'm really curious to see how that dynamic is going to work with.
I wasn't sure how Doctor Strange was going to fit in.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
see how he fits in anything. That was such an odd movie.
it was a weird movie, but he fit in really well into Thor Ragnarok as well.
He's in that too. Okay, damn it, I
Mhm.
gotta. All right,
Briefly.
I'm downloading that to the phone or a tablet so I can watch it on my 18-hour drive to Disney World.
It's very good. It's the best Thor.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Because I did see the first one. I know I saw that because that's the first one with Loki when he banishes him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that one I know I
Yeah.
did see. I don't remember much of it, but I know I did see it.
I don't remember anything about the Dark World except they were coming for Natalie Portman. And she was important for some reason. I don't remember.
And she was
really weird.
She was
It was
important
really
for some
weird.
reason. Like Padme important, or like not that important?
Like, pretty important.
Yeah, I mean,
She ends up going to
didn't she
Asgard,
get
right?
the whatever stuff they were looking for got trapped inside of her or something? So
Yes.
Interesting.
I only watched it once because I just thought it was so strange that I didn't have much desire to rewatch it.
Yeah.
But
I guess if
Agreed.
it doesn't have any too much stuff that hinges on like the overall story, then you don't need it, right?
yeah,
Right.
and there's been enough movies since that you can kind of fill in any gaps that maybe were established in that movie or something.
Right.
Yeah, she's really not any part of the storyline that's important.
She's hasn't even been in anything since then, right? She's
No.
not in Ragnarok.
Nope.
Are any of the wives and girlfriends going to be in Infinity War? Do we know that?
Wives and girlfriends.
Because like Pepper Potts, or I don't know if Hawkeye's wife is coming back, or any of these people showing up, or Natalie
in
Portman.
Yeah, I
what
don't
movie
know.
did we meet Hawkeye's wife? What movie was that?
It was Ultron.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Ultron.
So doesn't Captain America, isn't he dating what's her face? Agent Carter's daughter?
Agent 33 or Agent something. She has a special number. Yeah.
Right, but
Sharon
it wasn't that
Not her
Carter?
daughter.
it wasn't Agent Carter's daughter?
It's
No.
niece?
Nope.
Niece? It's somebody because she has
Niece, I believe.
I thought she had the same last name.
That's because she calls her
She
Aunt
does.
Peggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I did not like that either. It felt very shoehorned in.
Yeah, it felt really forced. Even though in the comics, I'm pretty sure that's what happens, but it just felt really forced.
Well, like
Right.
it's kind of creepy. One
Yeah.
that he just
Yeah.
he's like, oh well, she just died, so I'm gonna hang out with the niece for a
His
while.
niece, right, yeah. I'm gonna come for
Yeah.
her. Come to
Yeah,
me, darling.
that was weird.
And the
That was weird.
age doesn't work for me either, because how does Peggy Carter die at like age 90, have
Right.
a niece that's like 23?
20, right. And you got Captain America who's like 112.
Right.
Well, I mean, he's not because he was frozen, but you know what I mean.
But it's weird. It's
Yeah.
just weird. And
It
they
is
had no
strange.
chemistry.
Well, I was going to
No.
say it was very awkward. Like, it didn't seem like there was any sort of romance there. It was like
No.
weird.
It was weird. Pepper Potts is listed on IMDb as being an Infinity War.
Well, somebody's got to die.
Oh, a lot of people have to die. Their budget is just too big.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm scrolling for a really long time on these credits.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking they're clearly ending the first generation of Avengers and moving into the second. So people are either gonna like retire or die.
Right.
What was the first of this series Marvel movie to come out? Was it Iron Man?
Yeah,
yes.
this is the first Iron Man.
Okay.
And that was what?
And
like,
when did?
Oh, 8.
8? Oh, was
Okay.
that? Okay.
So this has
10
been
years
going on
ago.
for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could tell because Tony Stark's getting old looking.
All right. Yep. Hawkeye's wife is listed as being in Infinity War.
It's Linda Cardellini, right? Is
Yeah.
his wife?
How about Agent Hill? Because isn't she working for Stark now, right? At this point,
Oh yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Me neither.
she was the one that was basically the Fury's right hand person on the helicarrier.
Oh, the girl from How I Met
okay.
Your Mother.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
who?
I don't see her either.
The girl who played, not the redhead, the other one, right? The
Right.
Robin.
Black hair.
Dark- yes, Robin.
I can't think of her real name. Robin Sparkles. I love that show.
Her name is Kobe Smulders.
There you
Yeah.
go. That's
She's
it.
not listed.
Okay.
Didn't she go on to be in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. too? The show?
Possibly. I didn't watch it.
I
don't
tried.
know.
It was not good.
I only watched the pilot and I hated it so much that I kind of gave up.
I
It
watched it
broke my
through the
heart.
third season and gave up.
Wow.
Is it still on?
Yeah,
Is it?
Is it really?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Hang on.
She was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. off and on from 13 to 15.
Wow.
Interesting.
Huh. Yeah.
She
There
was
an
also in the
episode that
Lego
just aired
Marvel's
in
Adventure.
February.
She was in Lego Marvel's Avenger. You're right.
Yep.
I can't believe that show's still going. All right, so now I've lost my page that was telling me all about Infinity War, not Infinity War, the movie we're actually supposed to be talking about.
So in speculation, I guess. So the whole thing. So towards the end. So I'm trying to think because the whole thing. So Black Panther comes in and ultimately ends up harboring Cap, and then
Right.
whatever happens with whatever the time lapse is and everything else. So what? So I don't understand what his vested interest in it is. When
Okay, so at the end of the movie, I don't know, how does he get to Wakanda?
he takes
Who?
that's who he
Civil War,
He
Captain
takes
America.
he takes
he takes
him.
the Winter Soldier to hide him in Wakanda.
Oh, that's right. And he's like all locked up, or so
Because-
they think.
They
Black
said that
Panther was
they'll
not on either side, right? Like he was just kind of
no, he was
chaotic
on.
neutral.
I'm pretty sure he was on the side of wanting to sign the Accords because his dad died in that explosion, right?
I don't think he was with either team, though. I don't think he might have wanted to, but he wasn't in that room when they were all
He
going
was
through
just
that. He
out
was.
for
He just wanted
Revenge.
Bucky.
I
Right.
think he just
Okay.
wanted Bucky. He was out for himself,
Okay.
and I think he got drug into all of it. I guess, and I guess he saved Steve because he saw whatever was going on between Steve and Bucky.
right.
Yeah.
Because at this point, they're like a package deal.
I
Okay.
think so. Yes, I think if he has one, he has the other.
Yeah, and then he took the Winter Soldier and they did that cryogenic freeze until they could figure out how to
Right.
unbrainwash him, which
Right.
I mean, if you see Black Panther and you see how awesome the sister is, there's no way she can't figure out how to unbrainwash him because she's a genius. So
Okay. I didn't get that dude either. I mean, I get the character and what they were trying to do with him, and like the whole thing where they showed in Civil War that he was the one who that killed Tony's parents. Right? That was his parents in the car
Yeah.
that crashes in the tree and everything.
Mhm.
'Cause I was so confused by that scene when they showed it happening and why they were going after him, and then when they alluded to that's what it was and that's what Steve knew and everything. I was like, oh boy. I was like, well, that's kind of effed up.
I remember having, like I said, having never read comics or anything,
Well, I
being
didn't either.
completely shocked by that reveal.
Yeah, me
that
too.
not only was it not just a random car accident,
No,
but
it was
that-
totally planned.
Stone Cold
Yeah,
like
like
murdered them.
yeah, it was like premeditated. Yeah,
Yeah, like not just like causing the car accident, because that's one
right,
thing, but
right.
taking
But then,
the gun out.
but then finishing it off. Yeah, because like I said, I was watching it with my daughter. I was like, well, I didn't
Yeah.
expect that to come.
yeah.
And it wasn't the
I
end of the
didn't-
world, but I was like, holy crap.
But then I think that's really sad for my own deductive reasoning, because of course
Yeah.
Tony Stark's dad isn't going to die of a random car accident.
No, I know. No, exactly.
This is the movie too where they aged down Robert Downey Jr., right? Where they made him young.
oh,
Like,
for the
yes,
flashback.
for the
Yeah.
flashbacks.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I will say I was more impressed by that CGI than I was in
Right?
the original Captain America.
Okay.
Because you remember how they made his body all weird and small before he got juiced up by the government?
I think I saw because I saw most of that movie too. Yes, I do remember that. He was like all weird looking.
His
Yeah.
head was huge.
Yeah,
His head was huge. So I felt like we've made some progress in the last 10 years, at least,
Yeah, right.
CGI wise. I was still thrown off because he looked like Robert Downey Jr. from like Heart and Souls back in the 80s.
Yeah. Right.
But-
Yeah, there was no salt and pepper in his goatee and
Nope.
his hair. So the other thing that was, I guess it wasn't weird, but I'm remembering the ending. I think more than anything for whatever reason. So Don Cheadle dies, or supposedly, because he crashes down.
Okay, he doesn't die, but we see at the end he's going through physical
Oh, he's
therapy.
going through physical therapy, right? He
He's
can't
going
walk.
through rehab. Yep.
He can't
Yeah,
walk.
Tony designed special legs that
Legs.
could let him walk.
That's right. But he most likely won't be like Is he in Infinity War?
I think so.
Yes.
So he's back and fighting
I'm
again?
sure Tony could retrofit a suit for
I'm sure he
whatever.
could. I'm sure he could.
Yeah.
So when they're having, I guess, that final fight between, I guess, Tony and Steve, and I forget the whole sequence, but they kind of leave on somewhat good terms, I think, kind of. Like, Tony was still pissed at him for what he did, but there was like a conversation that kind of made it seem like if they needed each other, they had each other's backs, but they weren't going to be on the same team type deal, because that's when he starts to walk away with the shield, and Tony says to him, "That belongs to my father," and he throws it back to Tony, right? Because that's right towards the end, because he throws. That's why he gets that funky looking green, like stupid looking thing that they show at the end of the movie when they're looking out the window.
That was how the fight stopped, right? Like that's how because he's bearing the shield down into Tony's heart thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Into the suit, and then the suit starts to fall, whatever the hell it was, and then I think he either lets off or they both just kind of fall to exhaustion or something. It's like the end of a wrestling match. But the exchange of words were like, they didn't leave like Tony wanted to kill him. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think he just wanted an explanation for why he didn't tell him or something like that, or why he was letting the Winter Soldier get away with it or something. And I guess
I think they both realized that it was like I don't know.
Right. I kind of got the impression that Stark kind of understood why he thinks there was still some good in Bucky, but he still was pissed because he knew that he did it, whether he was brainwashed or not. So why would you withhold the information type deal?
Mm-hmm.
But I remember like the last exchange before he throws the shield back to him is something along the lines like, "If you need me, I'll be there," or something. I can't remember the friggin' line. It was something to that effect.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And then like the closing scene is like Black Panther and I think and Steve looking out the window, and Steve has like that greenish type suit on with that weird skinny shield on his arm, which I'm assuming opens up to something fuller. I guess we'll find out.
I hate that thing.
It's stupid looking. I know. That confirmed my Team Iron Man placement when I saw that thing. I was like, what the hell is that? It's not even a shield. Unless it turns into like an all-encompassing force field or something ridiculous, but I don't know.
Who directed Infinity War? I'm looking it up.
Anthony Russo and Joe Russo.
I don't know who that is.
Neither I.
I think they directed the last couple.
Oh, okay.
I just really want to see. See, the problem is, unless this is like a 4-hour movie, I don't understand how they're going to have everybody in there. Like, how do you tie in besides the Infinity Stone? Like I'm just so intrigued by like Star-Lord and Rocket and meeting with like Tony Stark, because it's like wise ass and two other wise asses. It's like, is this going to be like a fantastic like quarrel of name calling, like a 5-minute banter back and forth of just nonsense that I'm going to be like peeing myself in the theater? Because I really hope so, because that's what I love about those movies, because they are kind of tongue in cheek as well as like comic book as well. Like, I don't know how well they follow true comic books, because I didn't read them either, and I know like with Star Wars, fanboys get upset when some of this stuff gets too bantery or whatever. But to me, I love that stuff. Like the Guardians movies are like perfect. There should be like, those are like awesome. So if they tie all that into, I don't know, man. I think I'm hyping it up for myself, and I just don't want to be disappointed.
I feel like they're like the Guardians are just gonna show up like right before the big fight showdown thing. Like, yo, we heard you need some extra firepower.
I have a feeling I think that's how a lot of it's gonna happen.
I don't believe that.
Tell us.
The only reason I say that is because if you look at this cast list, it looks to me like it's in order of appearance.
Oh.
And Nebula and Thanos are right up front.
Yeah, I did see that.
Along with Zoe, Zaldina, Gamora.
Really?
So I think I'm
opens
starting
with
to
them,
believe
maybe?
this
Maybe
is
it
going to
opens
open with
them.
some big to do at the beginning of it.
It's just gonna be a battle scene for the entire frigging movie.
Well, I
whole-
mean, in 2.5 hours, I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but they've got to kill off a few people in 2.5 hours.
Oh no, no doubt. I'm sure they do. I mean, they have to. Yeah, you're right. Nebula's first. She's first person on the list.
I did not know Loki was in this one. And like Mantis, seriously. What,
Yeah,
I know
what
there's
why.
another.
does she have?
There's
There's
another name that I'm shocked that's in here, but they don't have a cast name after him. As Peter Dinklage is in this,
Huh.
but they don't have any. They
Oh,
don't
I
have a
see
name
that.
after him.
Maybe that's just a script. And Jon Favreau is an actor in it?
Well, yeah, he plays Happy.
Who's happy?
Who the hell is that?
He was Tony Stark's chauffeur, right hand
Oh.
in the Iron Man movies, the first couple.
I don't remember. And Benicio del Toro's back in it too?
Well, yeah,
He's
he's
the
the
collector.
collector.
No, I know he is, but I mean,
But what are they
I
going to
don't
do
know.
with it?
What the hell are they gonna do with him? Yeah.
Y'all, seriously, I did not know until last night that Sean Gunn, the guy that plays in Guardians, the blue guy, what's his name?
Oh,
Oh.
Yondu's
Yeah,
second in
Yondu.
command. Yeah.
His second in command is the motion capture actor for Rocket.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Assumed it was Andy Serkis, like it always is, but I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting, and it makes me laugh that Bradley Cooper is his voice because it just sounds nothing like him.
Okay, bigger shocker is the fact that Vin Diesel was Groot.
I know.
Both adult Groot and baby Groot.
And Baby Groot. Well, they can.
Did they differentiate that in the credits?
Yeah,
Yes, I believe they did.
But he is not Teen Groot, apparently, in Infinity War, which is heartbreaking.
He's
And
listed.
there must be
he's listed in the cast credits.
Is he?
Yeah, it says Vin Diesel.
Here. Oh, I see it. Yeah, there it is. Sorry.
I don't
There
see
was somebody else.
I don't see Bradley Cooper's name though. But
I do with Rocket
I'm sure I might have missed it.
as the voice.
No,
Oh,
I know
yeah.
he is. I must have missed it, but
It's two down
yeah.
from Vin Diesel.
I don't know. Okay, then that's why I went quick. Oh yes, there it is. Okay. Yeah, it's just like a laundry list of people, man.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how they fit all these people in. Who is Shuri?
I don't know.
Is she from
That's-
Black Panther? Okay.
That's T'Challa's sister that runs the
Okay.
lab where Winter Soldier's being held.
Okay.
Gosh.
Oh, she must be expendable then. That dude's got to escape. They can't figure out what's wrong. He's got to escape and
Well-
wreak hell somewhere.
She's pretty critical in Black Panther, so if they're making a sequel, they have to hold on to her.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, because she's the tech person.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
okay.
designs all the technology that makes Wakanda so successful.
Okay.
Yeah, and Angela Bassett's in it too, so that must mean a portion of this happens in Wakanda.
It looks like it from some of the images that I've seen.
Well, it would have to, some of it, because unless they just fast forward from that end scene, you know what I mean? If this is taking place literally right after Civil War, then it kind of has to start with those images or something from there, because that's where Steve and Bucky are.
Right.
I guess. I don't know. What the hell do I know?
We're going to come back 3 months from now and be like, God,
We were
so
so
wrong."
wrong.
We were so wrong. That's right. We're going to have to preview this episode before we do our actual... This will be the only movie that we will all absolutely have to see within like a 2-week period so we can
Yeah.
talk about it. It's like we're going to have
Oh,
to have
there's no problem there.
literal homework. Well, I have no excuse anymore either because sports are all done and we have nothing to do. So there's no my wife has no interest in seeing it, and obviously my 5-year-old isn't. I know my daughter wants to, and my oldest, I don't know. He went and saw Black Panther with his friends and he loved it. He said it was great, so maybe he'll want to go and see this too. I don't know that he has a vested interest in all the storyline geekdom stuff like we do, but if he wants to watch the movie, then I just don't want a million questions during it.
Right.
I'll tell them both. You guys have all summer. Start watching. Do we have any speculations on anything? Like, is there anything that...
You mean like character fates?
Or character fates or storyline fates? Like, I still don't understand the whole premise behind it. Like, I guess Thanos ends up getting all the Infinity Stones or most of the Infinity Stones for the Gauntlet. Is that the deal? And so he's gonna like try to destroy the whole universe type thing. So that's why everybody's coming together. Because there is a second one of these movies, right, Milford? There's a Infinity Wars 2 technically being slated, or...
Well, we don't know exactly what the name is, but it will be revealed at the end of this movie.
Okay.
That is the speculation.
Okay, so there is a series
because there'll be a credit roll that says state or
like part 2, kind of.
the Avengers will be back in blah blah blah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like is it
they
in
did
the
that
Marvel
at the-
night will return?
Right.
Like they always do with
did
James
that
Bond.
At the end of, yeah, they did that at the end of Captain America: Civil War.
All right, so then apparently they
that's the
don't
reason
destroy
why that should
Thanos
have
in
really
this one
been
because
named. Yeah.
he's listed as the untitled Avengers movie. Like Josh Brolin, the actor who is Thanos, is listed as being cast in that movie.
So are they going to cut it at a brutal cliffhanger?
See, that's what I'm wondering. Is this going to be like a Harry Potter Deathly Hallows scenario?
That's what came in my head. Probably.
Originally, I believe that was their intention.
Well,
Except
that makes
we
me
read
feel
the books.
better.
We read the books, so we knew what the cliffhanger was for Harry Potter. But if they deviate from the comic books, we have no way to know.
You're right.
But it makes me feel better knowing that they're not going to have to wrap up 1,007 character fates.
Oh,
In
in
2.5
2 hours?
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not. I mean, they could drag it out for 5 movies to figure it all out. I mean, if they wanted to, I guess.
But how they'll come to a satisfying conclusion to the movie, I don't know.
Right.
It'll be interesting. I'm really excited about it. I'm terrified, but I'm really excited about it.
I have to watch the trailer again, too. I've only watched it one time.
And I feel like there was a new one that I may have missed.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be good, that's for sure. I don't know if it's going to answer more questions or leave more at the end. As long as it's entertaining.
And I feel like that's been the hallmark of Marvel. Like, I didn't realize I've been watching these movies for 10 years, and I've been entertained by them for 10 years. So I think that's something that Marvel, I mean, people always compare Marvel to DC, but it's something they definitely have a leg up on.
Yeah.
DC movies have been friggin' terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, they should just... I know it doesn't make any sense, but they should just defect Wonder Woman and switch her over to Marvel.
I'd be in favor.
I would too, because that movie was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I didn't see Justice League and I didn't see Batman versus Superman because Jessica, you said they were both terrible. So
They were awful.
So I trust your judgment on all that, and I'm not going to even bother. And I was never a huge Superman fan anyway. I liked some of the standalone Batman movies, so I really don't need to see him and Superman fight because I would just, if I had to pick, I like Batman better anyway, even though everybody thinks he's not a real superhero because he needs gadgets and blah, 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 blah. And he has
But
no
so
real
does Tony
powers.
Stark.
Tony, exactly.
Exactly.
Tony.
Exactly. Batman's just cool. I don't give a crap if he doesn't have any, born with or enhanced, natural abilities.
I do hear that DC is better on the TV side, though. Like that's basically all that the CW shows.
Oh, okay.
But,
I don't know. I've never watched any of them, so
Like
I
Flash
don't know
and
that. Oh, okay.
Other
Gotcha.
things that are on there.
Right.
But where clearly Marvel failed in that front. I mean, it's still on this TV. Like it's still going, but I don't know how because S.H.I.E.L.D. is not very good.
The cinematic universe is almost kind of like, it's not quite on a TV show, but it is an extended story. So maybe it's more that it's just not necessary because we're getting all these characters on the big screen and DC doesn't have that success yet. I don't know what it is.
But aren't the Marvel shows on, are they on cable or are they on like Netflix or something?
Both.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was, I think, on ABC.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. Okay. Agent Carter was too. That was prime time, wasn't it?
Oh,
Yep.
I forgot about that one.
I heard that was a good show.
That I
but
heard
didn't-
was good because I think my
didn't see
mother-in-law even was watching it downstairs just for the fact of the time period it was in, having nothing to do with being superheroes because she has no knowledge of any of it. But for some reason, I always remember seeing it popping up in the DVR. So I think she was watching it, and it said it was a good show, just on the basis of being a good show.
And then Jessica Jones on Netflix. Is that Marvel?
That's supposed to be really good. That I've heard is
really
good.
good.
Oh, is that Marvel? I thought that was
Yes.
DC.
No, that's Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
okay.
is
This is like its
Luke Cage.
second season, I think, of that Jessica Jones show just started because I
Okay.
saw stuff on it. But I'd heard good stuff about that one. I don't know what it's about.
Yeah,
or who
I've heard
she
good
is,
stuff
but...
too. Okay, so I take it back. They're not totally failing in TV.
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause
those
the only
others,
one I thought about was Shield, but
Yeah, me too.
but Jessica Jones, I think, is on a streaming service. It's either Netflix or Amazon.
Netflix.
It's
Yeah.
Netflix.
So I
Yeah.
guess you can consider that TV now, but it's not on. You know what I mean?
Not
It's not
the same,
mainstream
right.
TV, right?
It's not censored in the same way either.
Right.
No,
Exactly.
I've heard it's much darker and grittier, and like don't sit and watch it with your kids.
Oh yeah, and Luke Cage is on Netflix as well.
I don't know what that is either.
That's a Marvel.
I've heard the name, but I don't know who he is either.
Then there's two that are on regular TV. Now I'm trying to think of the names of them. I'll come up with it in a minute here.
It seems like I would think more of that stuff you may see pop up on the streaming services just because of the freedom that you have. You're not bound to the idiotic network storyline
Oh gosh, there's a lot.
things and your time constraints. You don't have to worry about commercials and paying sponsors and all that kind of crap like that. So
I was watching, I think it was when I was watching Guardians last night. I kept seeing a commercial for a show called Legion, which
That's
apparently
Marvel.
is Marvel and stars the guy who played Beast in Beauty and the Beast.
okay.
Luke Evans?
Yeah,
Or no, that he was Gaston.
No, Matthew. What was his name? He was also in Downton Abbey. Anyway, but I was like, ooh, I should watch that.
Well, and we also get Venom this year too.
And,
I thought-
as a show?
Yep. No, as a movie.
Oh,
That
Adrian
comes out in
Dan
October.
Stevens.
thank you. I think Matthew was his character on Downton Abbey.
Venom is the Spider-Man villain, right?
Yep.
Gotcha.
And then Daredevil is also Marvel, and it's still
Yep.
on.
That's still on?
It says since 2015.
Oh, okay. Because that movie was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was Ben Affleck,
Yeah. No.
wasn't it?
This is not the Ben Affleck.
Is that the blind superhero, Daredevil?
Yeah. And I think Daredevil and Jessica Jones have some crossover, maybe.
I have no idea. Was that movie good? I can't remember. I don't remember hearing
No,
anything
the
about
movie
it.
was panned.
It was
pretty-
what?
It was. Oh no, Elektra was the one that was in Daredevil because that was. It ended up being its own movie, and it was also terrible.
Electra was?
Yeah.
I don't even remember hearing about it.
All right, hang on. I gotta IMDb it.
What universe is Green Lantern? Is that DC?
I think that.
I believe so, yes. Yeah, because
Okay.
he was part of the Justice League, I think.
Okay.
Jennifer Garner. It's bad.
Electra, I think I vaguely remember being in like a cartoon series when I was a kid, like with the other superheroes for some reason. I don't know why.
All right, so if Daredevil and Elektra are Marvel, we won't count those movies as part of this series because they started in 2003.
Oh, okay. Wow,
We'll
that was
just
a long
forget
time
about
ago.
those.
Yeah, we'll just forget about those with all the other Spider-Mans too,
Right, yes.
because they were all stupid.
I mean, the 8 reincarnations that we've had so far.
Man,
I mean, how many origin stories do we need at this
I
point?
don't know. Well, I just didn't. The actors were just stupid in all of them.
When I was a
Maguire
kid,
wasn't terrible.
he was my
True,
favorite
but
superhero.
I don't know. He was just so dorky.
Yeah. When I was a kid, he was my favorite superhero, and the movies have just made him insufferable. He's just so annoying.
Well, he has no
I haven't
sense.
seen
of,
Homecoming.
he has no sense of humor. This other kid that was in Civil War was pretty good. I liked him.
I think he's my favorite incarnation because he's young He
He's
seems
young. Right. Yeah. Well, he's young and he's witty's not the word I'm looking for. Like he's another wise ass. He's got,
Right,
he's not
but like
obnoxious.
age appropriate. Yeah,
he's
not.
not obnoxious.
It's like, oh
right.
my gosh, this is so cool.
I thought Andrew Garfield's was so obnoxious.
I don't even know if I
that's Andrew
saw
Garfield.
those ones. But that was the second reincarnation.
That was between Tobey Maguire and who is it now? Tom Arnold, is that his name?
No, it's not Tom.
Holland.
Tom Arnold.
I keep calling him Tom Arnold, and people are like, "That's not Tom Arnold."
No, not quite. I don't think this one's been married to Roseanne. So
He'd make a very strange Spider-Man.
Oh, Lordy. So I love how this evolved into a what do we remember about Civil War into let's talk about the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe.
You have to. The same
You
thing
do have to.
The same thing would happen as if we did like a late movie review of Phantom Menace or
Yeah.
the second Pirates movie. You know what I mean? It would stem into the whole shebang.
Oh my God, can we please do the Phantom Menace?
Yeah,
I'm
I
adding
don't
it
care.
to the schedule right now.
I don't know if anybody wants to hear it, but we can definitely do it.
Oh, that needs to be one of those things that we watch and comment on as we're watching it.
We
No.
go roast it.
That would be fantastic. Well, that one wouldn't be as horrible, other than all the Jar Jar nonsense. Then the second one would be the one that I'd have to get the curse bleeper out.
Third one's pretty bad too. It was on TV a couple of weeks ago, and I stopped, and I was just in awe, really, of how terrible it is.
Right. The third one to me is the strongest out of all those prequels. That one I can take the most of. Maybe because it's just there's more lightsaber duels and more end games and.
Okay, legit though, what does the first one have to do with anything?
The first movie.
Yeah.
It introduces us to the whimsical
Anakin.
world
I
of
feel like that
pod
could've-
racing.
Right? Like, I feel like they could have
Half-hour
just
pod
gone
race
and said,
commercial.
hey, this is the chosen one. Stolen Anakin and be done in 10 minutes. I'm done. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We're not
no,
doing
no,
that
I hear
podcast
you.
yet.
No, we're not. Back to Marvel. So I don't know. So here we are. It's the second week in April, and this movie comes out in 2 weeks, basically. So we'll have an up-to-date movie review fairly soon. Probably in about a month.
Right.
I'd say by before Memorial Day, because then that's when Solo comes out, right? And I know we did
Right.
this. And I know we did this. We did this like 2 months ago, so we're not going to go through the whole damn timeline again. We have to be on our toes with all these movies now. We're all gonna have like homework assignments every weekend. We gotta go see this movie by this date, review it, and then see the next movie, and then review it, and so on and so forth until Christmas.
I was going to say it's going to be a busy summer.
That's
See,
okay.
there was two other TV series that were supposed to happen too. Iron Fist and The Defenders. I believe The Defenders are still on right now.
Right. Because that's the other Jessica Jones-ish thing,
Yeah.
right? I thought I
But
saw
it's
her
not on Netflix. I think it's on Fox or one of those stations. I don't remember. But I don't remember seeing this Iron Fist.
ever.
No,
Ever.
me neither. I never even heard of it. Is it a specific character or?
Well, I'm assuming it's Iron Fist because Iron Fist is a Marvel character.
Okay, well, I don't know.
He
It could just
says
be-
that like we should know that.
Jeez, Milford, that was. Jeez, that was condescending.
Sorry.
Man.
I mean, if you go look, so I'll give you guys a link to a site that's got pretty much every Avenger from all time. I mean, there's names in here that some of us I've never heard of. Quicksilver, obviously from
From
Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
He actually is an Avenger.
Oh,
at
really?
some point.
I always
Black
confuse
Knight.
him with Scarlet Witch's brother.
Yeah, Black Knight. He looks
Black
kind
Knight.
of like a Batman type character.
Hey, what about this Black Lightning show that I see on the CW all the time? Is that Marvel or is that DC?
I don't think so. I think that's DC.
Okay.
Then we've got Swordsman, Mantis. Mantis I've heard of. Beast I've heard of. Moondragon? Nope. Patsy Walker?
Moon
Nope.
Dragon, you're kidding, right?
No, I'm not kidding you. Wonder
Jesus.
Man, Two Gun Kid, Miss Marvel, aka Binary or Warbird, Tigra, aka the Cat,
Seriously?
She-Hulk,
No.
yeah, Captain Marvel, which we get a Captain Marvel movie next year,
Right.
comes out in March, Star Fox, Namor,
Like the video game?
yeah, I don't know, Dr. Druid, Mockingbird,
Seriously.
Thing, which is obviously from Fantastic Four,
Right.
Right.
Moon Knight, Firebird, and then you got Human Torch, which is from Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four, yep.
Yep.
That show I liked.
Yeah, Living Lightning, Spider Woman, obviously,
Oh, God.
Machine Man, aka X-51, Dark Hawk, Demolition Man, which kind of, I don't know, this picture kind of looks like Wolverine, but I don't think that's who it is. Forgotten One, Mr. Fantastic, aka Reed Richards,
Yep.
Invisible Woman, aka Susan Richards.
Yep. So that's all Fantastic Four.
Right. Quasar,
All you're missing is the Thing.
which no, I said the Thing.
Oh, you did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Quasar, Cersei, Stingray, Sandman, which Sandman was one of the Spider-Man villains, right?
Yes.
Rage, Crystal, Thunderstrike. Well, that's Thor. That's Thor 2.
Okay.
Apparently there's a Thor 2.
All right.
Justice, aka Marvel Boy. Firestar, which is Angelica Jones. Triathlon, aka 3D Man. Silverclaw, Jack of Hearts. Captain Britain, aka Lionheart. Luke Cage, aka Power Man. Of course, Wolverine. Sentry, Echo, Ares, Amadeus Cho, Jocasta, Stature, Maria Hill,
She
Valkyrie. Which I knew Valkyrie was in there.
Well, she's in Ragnarok.
Isn't she? I was going to say, wasn't she in
Yeah,
one of those?
she's in Ragnarok. Nova, Sharon Carter, Iron Fist, Zor the God Jewel,
Oh,
whatever that is. Well, that's Jessica Jones. Underneath that name, they have Jessica Campbell Jones. Victoria Hand, Rick Jones. There's Captain Marvel again. Why is it in here twice? Whizzer, Marina, Yellow Jacket, Magdalene, Death Cry, Mariah Brandon, Mask, Doctor Strange, of course. Yondu is in here. Martin X, Charlie 27, Nikki, Starhawk. I mean, this list goes on for
Jesus.
days.
It's like you're just throwing names together.
Well,
Moon
but
Dragon.
I'm sure these are characters that had appeared in the Avengers comics over the years.
Probably, yes. Yeah, I'm sure it's a never-ending cavalcade of characters, depending on how many different writers that it had at any given time.
And then this also includes the movies and everything, too. So,
Who knows?
yeah, it's crazy. It's almost impossible to keep up with.
Who knows how many of them have stories that are worth anything. Some of them could have just been disposable characters in and out for this, or sidekicks of sidekicks, or who the hell knows, you know? I can't begin to understand or know 98% of it, but that just seems like an awful lot of stuff.
Well, I mean, the Marvel Universe through the years had so many offshoots. It's
yeah, no
of
doubt.
different shows, different TV shows. Yeah.
Most definitely. Hopefully we didn't confuse everybody more than we confused ourselves during this.
I say we've confused ourselves.
Sometimes that's not hard to do.
No, definitely not with me. All right, yeah. So I think we'll wrap this one up here, and hopefully everybody likes this. And it's something I know there is other movies we were talking about doing this to as well, because I think it's just fun to go back and and not too far back. Stuff that's still somewhat relevant. I mean, Star Wars is also another franchise that's still kind of going strong. So I have a feeling we'll definitely be touching on some of those movies as well. Definitely with some of the offshoots coming out and the continuation of the main saga going. Look forward to those in upcoming episodes, and we thank everybody for listening, and we'll talk to you next time. Follow our troupe at www.dizexplorers.com, where you can find all the links for all our hosts' social media accounts. You can also follow the podcast on our Facebook group at The Diz Explorers and on Twitter and Instagram at The Diz Explorers. You can download this podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher Radio, and also on YouTube. Thanks for listening.
Hope you had a good time. So long from Jiminy Cricket and Spectro Magic.